What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of P Coffee Brown Show. Super hyped and excited about the show tonight. It is going to be quite interesting. We are lining up and looking, watching, and paying attention to everything that's happening in the world right now. As you're coming in, go ahead and click that SHARE button. I know that everybody on the panel has already connected and got everybody that they want to hop in with us. So y'all have some people hop on in here with us. So I am on all social media platforms right now. So I'm adding in one more platform so they can hop into the conversation on tonight. How is everybody doing? What's going on in y'all's world?
Doing amazing.
That's what's up, Vincent.
Lovely.
I'm doing great. Happy belated Valentine's to you ladies. Hope everybody had a good one.
Well, thank you so much. Every day is Valentine's Day for me, baby.
Hey,
Right?
I don't
if
need
you
these
wasn't
nice
told, now
pagan
you're told.
holidays.
Happy belated.
I don't need them to give me no pagan holiday to acknowledge my presence. For real.
Well, happy love day.
Every day is love day around these
Right.
parts.
Hopefully you got spoiled a little bit, you know.
Listen, that's supposed to be an everyday thing. The question is, did y'all get spoiled? That's what I want to know. Did the fellas get spoiled?
Oh yeah,
No, I did some spoiling. I got spoiled a little bit, but I did most of the spoiling.
You ain't get spoiled.
It was a two-way street.
No, I said I did a little bit, you know, but I did most of the spoiling this go around.
You did most of the spoiling. You didn't get spoiled.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. No, I didn't say I didn't. I said I got spoiled a little bit, but I did most of the spoiling this time.
But you said a
Just
little
go
bit.
around.
Like, are you saying a teenagey bit or? I mean, give us some stats.
No, I'm gonna sit here and
Jason, she
smile.
put
All I know,
He can't
hey,
give us no stats. He
it was
can't give us
equal
no
spoiling
stats.
over here, so I can't complain. Everything was good.
Oh, so we
Vincent got that fresh love going on. That new. Vincent got that new working.
Yeah, he got
Hey,
some.
I'll say this, man. You never forget what got you there, and you just keep it going.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
Vincent over there still trying to put grapes in the wine, talking about that's where they came from, baby.
Oh, grapes. Now, cherries, sir. Cherries, not grapes.
cherries.
Cherries, not grapes. Okay, y'all doing a whole lot right now. Cherries and not grapes.
Hey.
Y'all wow, man. Y'all wow. But I love it. I'm glad y'all had a great time. And you got to get expressed and express and all those kind of wonderful things and all this little stuff with the lovey. But I'm not a Valentine's person, although
I'm not
somebody
either.
always doing something for me for Valentine's Day, but I don't get into Valentine's Day. That is never have. Literally, since I was a shorty, I never ever was a Valentine's Day chick. I never got. I literally heard this lady say if he didn't do A, B, C, and D, then he gonna be out the door. I said, really? For one day?
She probably said that because she don't do anything the other days.
Hold on. She said she gonna be out the door. Shoot, I'd help her.
No, she said he was gonna be out the door.
I understand.
And it's gonna be this and that. And I said, all that for Valentine's? Is that?
Hey, like I said, I heard you. If it got to be all of that because just to make you feel special, then shoot, I'll go on and leave.
You know what, Jason? Did y'all see how he sniffled it?
Hey,
Did y'all see the syrup in the nostrils of Priya?
Yes, he was so serious.
He was very serious about it. He went ahead and flexed and said, "I will pack."
If I've been here all year long in 4 years, and you ready to throw it all away behind one day that ain't even a real day, yeah, that's cool. We good.
I just wanted to know from the daughter. I was like, I just thought it was a little choosing the heavy violence for one day. I was like, wow, just for one day? That's what we do.
Well, you know what, Koffe, it's always two sides to that story.
There is.
You don't know what's not being done throughout the year. And that may be that final straw.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the final straw on Valentine's Day, I'm just trying to understand why is that day the significant day? Why we can just January 30th of January 1st is everybody make a resolution?
Why is that the end all be all?
Do it before do it the day before Valentine's Day. How about that?
Why is that the end all be all?
on side piece weekend. I mean, do it that weekend.
Hey, some of these people, I'm trying to figure out the best way since I'm in the day.
You know when side piece weekend is.
Now, side piece Valentine's Day is either before or after Valentine's.
If it's after, that's a sad side piece situation.
That means he don't like her. If it's before, that means he actually likes her.
Right.
Maybe he did something for you on side piece Saturday because basically that was the only day that certain things he wanted to do was available.
You know what?
I may have wanted to do something on Valentine's Day, but the actual day of the event that I wanted to take you to was on Saturday.
Oh my gosh, that's a good answer.
Jason is the man with the plan. He always got the answer. Okay?
He got an answer for everything.
It may not always be the best one, but I'm just telling you, yeah.
He got an answer for everything.
Hey, I try to have a solution for every problem, not a problem for every solution.
Evidently so. Evidently. And he got on the Gasoline t-shirt today too, y'all.
Gasoline t-shirt.
Hey, I'm feeling skinny today. What can I say?
Straight Gasoline t-shirt. So
yep,
listen,
I'm feeling skinny today.
I see. So listen, it is a lot going on in the great United States of America right now. I mean, so much to actually talk about. But first, before we get into anything, really, really heavy, did y'all see that Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
I didn't watch it.
I thought it was. I loved it.
Man, it's so much controversy behind the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't think I've ever seen such a controversial segment for the Super Bowl halftime show. It was great. Some people were
creativity.
It was a lot of creativity, but there was a lot of subliminal messaging that went along with that whole show. The thing that I thought about when I saw the show, and I kind of unpacked it separately from the initial play of the show, what I really thought about was how our community would look if we really were together. The fact that they even put that together and did everything that they did to bring that segment together, that show together, I thought to myself, how powerful would it be if we live like this all the time?
Yeah.
Not for the lights, camera, for the action, but this is what we normally do. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Today, I was rolling with my rich nephews, and I was like, they were like, well, where are we going to eat? I said, we're going to a Black-owned business. We're gonna put our money back in our community. We're gonna go out of our way to go to our community and patronize a business with somebody that looks like us. And so we went over there and hung out for several hours and supported that business. Left them some good funds on the table, just appreciating our community and what we've done to build our own brands and things like that, which is a beautiful thing. And so we were talking about that. I said, this has to be a consistency to where our dollars are being circled in our community a lot longer than they have been over the years. And I thought it was a beautiful display of unity, a huge, beautiful display of unity. And when I saw that halftime show, it was a great display of unity. And one thing that I can say, and I'm gonna yield over to you guys, when I look at Samuel Jackson, I'm so proud of him. I am so proud of him. He's done so much behind the scenes that people are just not aware of. They're very ignorant of. People are really, really ignorant of, and they're not aware of everything that Samuel Jackson has done in the industry over these years behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know that he marched during the Civil War. He was there at Martin Luther King's homegoing service, just being there for the family and helping with the service and just different things that he's done over the years. And he's just remained quiet about it. He never really was a person that kind of stood out and was talking about what he did and things like that. And his name really doesn't come up in our history segments like it should, to be quite frank with you. Agreed. People don't really talk about Samuel Jackson, but he's done a lot in film and history. And when he did the Django, what? Oh my goodness, he killed that part. When he did the Django, he played the ham and cheese out of that part, and he should have been recognized a whole lot more. But what did you guys take away from that?
I'm not surprised.
Go ahead, ladies first.
I'm not surprised. I didn't watch the show, but I saw, clips of Samuel because I've been a supporter of him since, I've seen his movies. But he is really that genuine person behind the scenes. He don't do stuff for the appeasement of people. He do what resonates with his heart, and I see that a lot with just how he navigate, even with his marriage. He don't show a lot of his private things, and I love that. But when he show up, when it comes to his profession, he show out.
He
So
shows
I'm not surprised.
And
absolutely.
basically, what I really liked was what all of these people sitting here talking all this crap about DEI and everything else and how we don't need it and everything is merit based. And this is basically a halftime show where it was all black, all people of color for the most
Yeah,
part. And then they come back and it's like, really? You had a halftime show and couldn't have one white person? Nobody ever said nothing when they had country singers. Nobody ever said nothing when they had these
that's
rock and
not
roll singers. And
not one
there
word.
was
Mm-hmm.
not one black face on there. And basically there was a lot of dancing, a lot of choreography and everything else. And did you see some of the comments that came back after that dude was like, you couldn't have one black face? Be like, well, I mean, basically this is DEI. They didn't cut the mustard
They cut the
in terms of the
they
dancing
said
singers
we
and
not
stuff.
together no more. They said we ain't together no more. But you know
I
what?
Man,
mean, everything goes both ways, man. And it's like,
It's so true.
when you do stuff out of spite,
Hmm.
it opens up the realm for other people to, I guess, for whatever it is that they do to be perceived as spiteful, if that makes sense. You know what I
Absolutely. But
mean? And I don't think there was anything spiteful about it, but I mean, the dude definitely wanted to put out a message, and he succeeded.
and he did that. And you know
Yeah.
what?
everything
Let me say
from
this.
the
One
beginning
beautiful
of the show.
thing, one beautiful thing was the women had on clothes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And
And
not
I
everybody
don't care what
was,
nobody
yeah,
said. That was so beautiful just to see the creativity. Period. This is our creativity. I do not have to have half of my clothes on
hmm
to prove to you that I am a creative and I
Mm-hmm.
have a gift and I have a talent. The
right.
gifts and talents were
Mm-hmm.
on full display in that whole choreography. It was absolutely priceless to me. As a
From
woman, I was like, yes, yes, show the creativity.
everything, Coffee, from the beginning, because the beginning of the show started at the overview of the Superdome. It was like a red button.
Hmm.
And then everything from that point on to the very end of the show, it was controversial topics that are
Absolutely.
going on.
Mhm.
Everything from the messages, the choreography, just everything. And then people like with Samuel Jackson, with Serena Williams, all those people, man, who brought about different aspects of what's going on. Because like with Serena, she got shade from when she did that dance
Oh
in
yeah,
one of her matches at the end.
right,
Yep.
right. And
And
that
we
was
all know
years
Samuel
ago.
Jackson
That
is
was years
controversial.
ago. Years ago, she did that same dance,
Yeah.
basically.
hmm
So whoever did the choreography for that, man, my hat's down to him, man. It was a good show.
It
And I'm
was.
not trying. I'm seeing what was all the purpose of the shade he got for it, and it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
It was
And
no drama.
let's
What'd you
not
say?
forget that Samuel L. Jackson got a chance to say MF on on a national level on regular TV. He did
That
do an
was
interview
funny.
where he
Yes,
said
he
that that's
did.
what he wanted to do. That was one of his list, that one of his checkoff items. He
That was
wanted to
on
be able to do
his
Yeah,
list.
that
yeah.
That was on
on
his
a national stage.
He was like, I'm
I
gonna say what
loved
I'm
it,
gonna say
man.
this time. I didn't earn my right to say what I'm gonna say this time.
As a fellow person who curses, and I have to watch myself a lot of times when I get on certain platforms,
Right?
I respected when he said that. I felt it wholeheartedly. He said that was one of his items. He wanted to at least say that once on a
Listen,
national platform, and he did it.
listen,
They beat it,
I wasn't
but he
mad
did
at him.
it.
He did it, but for real, y'all, that thing was it was so good. It was a
It
great
was
show.
it was
It
it
was
was
a great,
great. It's nothing
Yeah,
bad about this show.
yes,
right,
it was
right.
great display of choreography, a great display of unity. It was a great display of coming togetherness. It was just a beautiful display of what it would look like if we just and not only
Came
accepted
together.
each other's differences, but embraced them
Yeah.
and just been good with it.
I look
One
back
thing that
on-
I
Oh,
said
go ahead, Brett.
about Kendrick, he is a creator. You know, he is a creative, and in his creativity, a lot of times his messaging can miss you. It can go over your head if you're not aware, consciously aware, or if you're not really tuned in enough to understand what he's saying, because his songs is one thing, but for him to have the visuals behind it, for him to create an emotion and impact to the Black community, of course it was going to ruffle some feathers. But the
Absolutely.
difference in the Black community and the other communities, majority of the time, it's never us with the hate for these other communities.
Right.
It's
Culture.
Mhm.
us
You're right.
backlash. Every time we do something, it's a problem. Why is it always a problem? Why are y'all never like satisfied or comfortable enough where we can exist in the same spaces, acknowledge each other and love on each other without it being a question mark or a negative situation or a comment. It's always been that. So I'm not surprised to see the backlash. I hope that anyone who participated don't be moved by these things. It's a distraction. It's nothing. It's
No,
nothing.
I'm happy that they moved by him.
Mhm.
I'm happy that you know why I'm happy they moved by him, because in that last book, we was talking about bosses, beards, you know what I'm saying, and business and stuff. My chapter was actually talking about working in corporate spaces. And I work for a phenomenal company right now. I work around phenomenal people, and most of the companies I've worked with have been phenomenal people. But one of the things I notice, and one of the things I always challenge is, why do other cultures have to make you feel comfortable?
Mhm. Yes.
Why do I have to do something to make you feel comfortable, but it's all right for you to be yourself and say what it is that you want to say?
Right.
But
That's
I
like
have to tread lightly to make sure that
correct.
I don't make
Correct.
your culture uncomfortable.
Listen,
Mhm.
what
So
you
go
said
read
to
my
me,
chapter in that book, and you'll understand kind of what I'm talking about.
period.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's funny you said that because I went to an event and I deal with all these different franchise owners, like 50 different franchise owners, and kind of connect with them every month, making sure they're in compliance and doing what they need to do to represent the franchising, their franchising agreement properly, whatever, right? So I go to this event and I had on some earrings that one of my designers, done for me in my boutique.
Mhm.
And everybody looking at me outside. I'm like, what they looking at me crazy for? So I literally go in the restroom and I said, oh, it's the earrings. Oh, they got a problem with the earrings. First it was the hair. Now it's the earrings. Sometimes it's the clothes. It's always something I get every time. Even when we go on trips and stuff, and we always out of town, always on a trip. Somebody got a comment. Oh, well, Koffe got 2 bags. Well, I have to literally catch myself and not say anything. I'm like, if I had 15 bags, it's my bags. Why y'all?
Right.
Right.
Hey.
I didn't ask you to carry them.
Hey.
One chick said to me, she says, are you going to be wearing heels all the time? I said, I'm a fashionista. I'm going to come in here looking like I'm supposed to look every time. My mama name is Cynthia. I'm representing for my mother. How about you?
Hey, and using perfectly bad grammar. Just because you can't wear them, I mean, that don't mean that my foot's gotta hurt all the time. My
Yeah,
foot's.
she was like, oh my God, you don't have to wear heels all the time. And then another one was like, every time I see you, you're always matching. Am I supposed to be mismatched? I mean, I'm confused.
It's a word for that. It's called being a hater.
I'm like, but it's crazy because I thought about what you just said, Jason. I'm not here to make y'all feel comfortable. I refuse to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not my
Yeah.
role in life. I'm not.
Right.
I'm here to make you kind of have a little bit of a I feel a little bit. Yeah, I want you to feel that, and don't give me the mic. Don't give me the mic at the meeting. Don't do that because I'm gonna
I
tell you
wore
the
these
truth.
clothes for me. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know, like we went to a big event, and I literally told them straight up what it is. I'm not gonna not say what the truth is because y'all uncomfortable with the truth. Come on, man,
Right.
what's the problem? You ask for people to be, and then you have the audacity to say this is a safe space. What does that
Um,
mean? What does it
Safe for
mean?
who?
Right.
it's
And why do we need to say it's a safe space? I'm
it's
confused.
really
Why
it's
do you
really
need to say
sad
that
that
you don't see
you can't be
color?
who you are, and it's not good. So you want a person to be themselves and to be voice, power, reason, and then when you are, then you say I have an issue. I
Yeah.
make you feel uncomfortable. That's not my fault that you feel uncomfortable and you insecure with yourself. I'm not.
Right.
You breathe, walk, and do everything just like I do. It's not my fault that you are uncomfortable with that who you are. I am.
I'm
I'm
sorry
never
that my
here.
posture upsets you.
I'm gonna shine bright. That's on you.
Dupria, what and why are we dismantling diversity and inclusion? What does that mean?
To be honest, okay, y'all know how I think. Y'all know my mind. I think a little different. My perspective is different. To be honest, in all reality, I don't feel like it's a color thing or a community thing. I think it's a person thing. Like these people just have a problem with themselves, and however they can pick apart another person. Like you said, you weren't putting on things that make you feel good, making somebody else uncomfortable. That has nothing to do with me. That's you need to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to check yourself. And when it comes to a man, black man being in a corporate space and these other men feel a certain way, you need to look at yourself. What
You
about
know what?
me makes you feel here?
Go ahead.
Yeah, period. There it is. That's the question. What about me makes you feel uncomfortable? And what does that have to do with me?
I actually
Right.
had a lady in a corporate space when I used to have to travel up to Dallas a lot. I actually had a young lady that I worked with who is of a different hue, come from a different community, if you will, the white lady. And she actually told me, she just flat out said it. She's like, I know that she's like, I know you can feel that some of the guys here don't particularly care for you. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, and I don't understand why, because I don't do anything, I don't mess with them or whatever else. I'm friendly to everybody. She was like, the reason why some of them just don't like you is because the women do from their community actually like you. They think that you're cute or whatever, or want to holler at you. Maybe if the situation was different, they'd try. And I was like, what the heck does that have to do with me?
Right. Right. I get that.
Go
I get
challenge
that. I
them.
understand.
Go give them a hard time. Why are you giving me a hard time because some woman likes me? Are they not supposed to at all? Am I ugly? I mean, whatever. You know, I mean, what's the issue?
But that's high school. That's high
It
school though.
is. It is.
Coffee. Maybe that's why the young lady approached you about the heels. Maybe she was upset because she couldn't rock them how you could.
No, she didn't lotion her ankles. But anyway,
You know what? About shitty lotion her. And I was like, I'm not here to I mean, and it's so crazy because it's like, I'm like, I'm the only brown person around here. So why is my name? Is it because I'm cute? I know it's not because I'm
Absolutely.
unattractive.
why even walk up and talk to you? Why even say anything about it at all?
Mhm.
Is it that the fragrance, the Baccarat Rouge? Is this what we're doing? Is this what's making everybody go crazy? I mean, what is it, the fragrance? Is
It's
it
the
the
mother in your apple cider vinegar.
it's the mother in my apple cider? Yes, is it the essence of the fact that I've been to the dentist or something? I mean, I went and got my
Not Dennis. Come on, Dennis.
Oh
yes,
wow.
my
Right.
teeth on point. I mean, what is it? What's Oh, I know what it is. It's the blonde hair because my hair is not naturally blonde. That's what it is. I just got it.
Some of theirs ain't either.
Sure ain't.
Oh my
Definitely right about that one.
Yeah, you
goodness.
getting hate too, baby, because yours ain't
We know
yeah.
Dupree gets some haterade all in her Kool-Aid, child.
And then she always rock her little dot. They probably like, what culture is she? We gotta figure her out.
it's part of life. Like, I'm so used to it. I'm unmoved, unbothered, unfazed. It's nothing that someone can say or do that's going to ruffle my feathers. I don't even ponder on the thought of them being uncomfortable with me. Because for what? I'm never going to stop being Depria. And I would encourage everyone to never stop being who they are and in their authenticity for someone else to be comfortable. Like, what?
You know, I shared with the young lady. I said, you know what? I would love to show you where I got my shoes from. I would love to do that, but I'm not going to do it because I don't get paid to advertise where my shoes came from.
Right.
And I said, you know, being lighthearted, she's like, oh my gosh, Koffe. I was like, well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to know where to get them, I can get some. I can probably pull up some that's comparable, but of course, you know, that's not where I really got mine from. But I'm just saying, you
And then your name is
know,
Coffee on top of that. I mean,
on
come on.
top of
Yes, so
that,
that's
with a
extra
K
real.
and one E. It's just all controversial. You gotta change the word around too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. But dig this, y'all. Listen. Recently, Uncle Trump had Elon Musk in his office and his son was telling the president to be
Yeah, he
quiet.
has some choice words for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what I mean? I was like, you know that little tiny humans like that, they don't have their own actual thoughts developed. So
Right.
this is what the conversations are in your house, and so your
Yeah.
son reflected what you've been saying about the president at the house. Okay.
Right. And what
All
did
right.
I
Elon
don't
have on his will? Hmm.
I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that could go both ways though, because these tiny humans nowadays, like my daughter, she'll be 5 next week, and her dialogue, her verbiage, just everything about her is different. Like,
We're not talking
really?
about a Depria child. We're not talking about a parent that has poured into her tiny human and invested.
Okay,
We're not talking about a Depria type child.
Well,
No,
he may pour into him coffee. We're
just
not gonna say
no,
that.
imagine Elon Musk's son. Elon
no,
Musk?
no. I don't
No,
buy it. I don't buy it at all. That little
no.
girl is
It's no way
unruly
possible.
and undisciplined. No,
For
no.
one, why was he even there for the meeting? You mean to
Period.
tell me out of that whole big building, there was not one person that could have watched that kid?
Yeah, I
Period.
was thinking that too.
Period.
Number
I mean,
two is they got on Obama for wearing a tan suit, which was very tailored, by the way,
period.
years ago when he did an address. And this dude was in there. What did he have on? Like a
A ball
sweatshirt
cap,
yeah,
Ball
a
ball
cap
cap,
t-shirt, and a sport coat.
and
yeah,
sport.
t-shirt, whatever it was. And I'm sitting here like, so where's the backlash?
And then Uncle Trump was sitting down. I
He
was like,
actually got shut up. He don't shut up for nobody.
right. So it kind of made me wonder who is really the president.
You don't interrupt him. He will overtalk you. And every time Elon started talking, he just sat there and shut up.
And said nothing. And then it was looking like you have a little deer in the headlight syndrome. He was just sitting
Hmm.
there
Mhm.
like he was a sheep. And I was like, this dude is not a sheep. So you a sheep now? Really?
I saw old Ike and Tina Turner incident.
You know what? I'm done. Did he say
Tina,
That
I'll
little,
talk for us. Yes, 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 Ike.
what'd you say?
that little
Depria?
boy, that little boy said, "Shh, you're not the president."
I was
Yeah, you
like,
can read his lips exactly what he said.
you're not the president. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. I said, how would he know who is or isn't? He cannot come up with this on his own. How would he know that you're not the president? How would he know that? Somebody told him
Mhm.
that. Somebody imputed
Yeah.
that information
An
in his little
adult
brain.
told him that.
An adult said that at the house.
Yes.
Somebody at the
That means that
restaurant.
somewhere around the dinner table, Elon said, "You know, I'm running this."
Period.
Right.
Probably doing one of the home visits.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
So listen,
All
y'all.
I got is wow.
We got another topic to discuss, and this right here, I'm gonna play this for the people because they gotta hear this one for sure. This right here is on another level.
You know, somebody said, oh, with the mass deportations Trump is doing, that that's going to leave all of these manual labor jobs without workers. Well, who do you think is going to do that work now? Who do you think is going to have to do all of those jobs that migrant workers have been doing for next to nothing? you. It's you. That's the new gig economy. Picking fruit, washing dishes, cleaning hotel rooms, day labor, landscaping. Oh, did you think that they were telling you that you don't need college or the college is pointless because of neo-Marxist postmodernism and critical race theory? Is that what you thought? Turns out it was because they didn't want you to be overqualified to pick oranges. They didn't want you to think that you were too good to work at a warehouse. They didn't want you to assume that you could make a livable income on just one job instead of 2 or 3. See, the people on the upper decks of the ship, they know that the ship is sinking long before the people in the steerage. And they have first access to those lifeboats. The elites have known for quite some time that America is going under. And they've already made their plans. They've already made their arrangements. And they made very different arrangements for you. You've been slotted to go down with the ship.
Who is the you?
You know who the you is? Us commoners. Us perceived commoners.
Listen,
But go ahead.
all I could think about was if you look at what's happening in America, every week, is something else that's being dismantled, totally dismantled. You want to dismantle that Internal Revenue Service. You want to dismantle
The CIA.
educational system. You want to dismantle the judicial system and just make the whole country into this chaotic bucket of confusion and calamity. So much so that there's no direction at all. And then you want to make it to where people who have darker pigmented skin are not able to have the same equal opportunities to become a better version of themselves. So literally, it's been all in the news the last couple of weeks, and I've been reading several articles about, Mr. President wanting to dismantle the educational system. And then now you're saying that the grants and the funding for underprivileged individuals that want to better themselves, those things will no longer be available.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say the you, are you saying, are you sending a message to just basically say, oh, let's go back to slavery and let's just do it in a way where it's more comfortable for everyone. We're gonna provide you with some air conditioning.
Right. Well, there was a couple things that what we just listened to. It for my readers, it made me go back to some of these older Robert Kiyosaki books. For the people who read about businesses and everything else, Robert Kiyosaki talked about this 10, 15 years ago. How America is on track to be basically service-based. If you think about it, everybody is going to be a Walmart greeter, a warehouse worker, a whatever. I mean, think about outside of weaponry, what do we really manufacture here anymore of any great significance? Not to say that we don't make tires or some other stuff, but we don't make computer chips. We don't make a lot of electronics. We don't make a lot of the things to where you can literally click a button and shut all of this stuff down.
And
I mean,
then we don't have
basically,
the industry
just service.
giants anymore. The industry giants that we used to have for the
Right.
manufacturers, like the vehicle manufacturing, that we used
Right.
to have major industry giants and conglomerates to where, people would have career-based fields of endeavors to where they would know that they would be able to actually have these pensions and different things, in place for them to have the enjoyment of their twilight years.
Exactly.
You're getting rid of people's ability to, have the government to support them after they supported the government and giving years of service to the nation. So, like, why, if you don't want to have Social Security, why are you still taking it away from us? Every time anybody that's in a traditional environment, when you look on the paperwork that you get, whenever you get compensated, it clearly says Social Security. Why are we paying into something that is not going to exist, or it doesn't really exist, or we're not going to be able to profit from? So you're going to just give us all our money back? I don't think you're going to do that.
No, they're not. And if you're really trying to make America great again, let's just think for a second. See, back in the day, you didn't necessarily have to go to college, but you can go get you a very good job at one of these chemical plants or, some of these other jobs. And the man and this is not about gender, but I'm just saying, but the man could go to work, the lady could stay at home, take care of the kids, or she might have a job, you know what I'm saying? Probably service based or whatnot, and have a good living. You can still have a couple of cars, you can still put groceries, and still a lot of times afford to take you and the kids on a vacation. Well, even if you're trying to make America great again and you're trying to get back to that, thanks to inflation and the cost of everything, now you're still talking about the man and the woman having to have full-time jobs just to barely make ends meet. And to barely look, I went to the grocery store today, didn't buy one piece of food and spent $200 on TP, napkins and all kinds of other stuff, paper towels, different scents for the house, and some deodorant and stuff, and spent $200 at the grocery store today. Didn't buy a lick of food, not one article, not one piece. So how
Go
are we
ahead.
getting great again?
Period. Go ahead, Dupree, because your mic was a little low.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Hey, come on now.
You know, I probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was reading this book about homestead. We good? And I
Yes.
think that we have to get back into becoming more self-sufficient, because when you think about
True.
some of our ancestors, they grew all their own food, they had their own water well, they they built their houses, they did so much for themselves to be self-sufficient. And in today's time, we're not self-sufficient. We're so
No.
dependent on the
No, we're not.
government. You know,
You're right.
in order for us to have a shift, or in order for us to shift with the wave that they're trying to shift us to, we have to become more self-sufficient. We have to get back to homestead. We have to get back to our bases and values and morals before all of this, because I feel like it's not only trying to confuse your mind and put you in this sunken space of lack and scarcity and all these different things, but it's also going to target you in every other way. So if they can continue to pull all of us down to a lower vibration, it's going to work. And we've been, as a collective, we've been in that space for so long. People are becoming more fearful. They're scared. They're trying to figure out what to do or how to make more money, how to navigate all of these different changes. But instead of them being proactive, they're being reactive, and it's coming off in more so of the lower and negative vibration. I'm sure it has a lot to do with not knowing what to do, because all the people before us who was giving us game, all the elders who was giving us the knowledge, they tried to check them up out of here. We have to get back
Hey,
to it.
I agree with you 100%. 10 toes down. Now, here goes my challenge. How do we implement what it is that you're talking about when the government now and you got private entities that are basically over and control pretty much all of our food sources and water sources now? California burned up because you got a couple of people who actually own most of the water in California because of their
We
businesses. So the water goes to their business as opposed to going to, service fires at people's houses and stuff. Basically, you got a private entity that owns most of the water sources in California that basically said, no, I'm not giving y'all additional water. The water that's promised to me, I'm doing this. You got people like Bill Gates who owns most of the farms and farmland in America now.
Yes,
You got people who
absolutely.
are raising cattle that the government is now telling you what to feed your cattle.
Yeah, they're mandating that you have to use a certain type of feed, and
Right.
they're serious about it to the point to where they will come in and shut it down.
Correct.
Yeah,
So now you own a cow or two, and that you might slaughter one every couple of years or whatever to feed your family. But now you're raising cattle and you got deer and some other stuff on your land. And if the government finds out you have this cattle, they tell you what to feed it, which basically still poisons you.
yeah. It's so sad, but it's been happening for, I'll say, for the last 10 years. They've been pushing this
Yep.
program, but it's been so undercover that people, regular people, not noticing that this shift been happening. It's been happening. So I don't know. Honestly, my thoughts is, residency, other places, and building and heavier farms, farms everywhere else. And but the thing with that too, they don't even allow you to ship like organic seeds and stuff to the
Right.
US. know if y'all knew that, but that is it's crazy. It's like a system that I don't know. Passport baby. That's all I know.
And
Passport baby.
understand. And you know what, Coffee? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like when we designed this show and everything, when we talked about it, it wasn't necessarily to come up with a solution for everything, but more or less to inspire thought to everybody who watches
And
it.
to bring
It's to
awareness.
bring awareness. I was just about to
Mhm.
say that exactly
You're right.
because it's we got so much information nowadays to where they give it to us in such small spurts, right? And it
Mhm.
creates a lot of attention problems and challenges. But sometimes you need to hear somebody that you know and trust bring it up and give it to you in a way that you can stomach. Sometimes you need that aha moment, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. I mean, these are things to think about. Everything she
Yeah,
just said is 100% true because both sides of my family are from the country. They had horses
yeah,
and pigs and cows, and they had crops that they would plant. But why do we don't do hardly any of that now?
Mhm.
don't know.
And then the government, like Vincent was telling you, because we got agricultural friends and stuff, they tell you what you can feed your animals. You can't
And
even
they
feed
will
your
come.
animals
They
just a
will come
natural
on your
organic
home.
go eat grass. You literally got to give them this subsidy, this feed.
Yeah.
Mhm. And which here's the thing with that feed too. We don't know what in the ham fat is inside the feed.
Correct.
Don't
I've
have any
actually so in
clue
my business,
what's
get this.
inside.
In my business, I work in commercial property insurance. I used to be out in the field doing loss prevention. I used to have to go to chicken feed plants. And remember, they used to always have people that talk about, well, they put steroids in there and everything else. No, they don't put steroids in there, but they do have a chemical in there that actually makes the chickens hungry. And I
Mhm.
mean, when they say they got this stuff down to a science, they can
Mhm.
tell you exactly what that chicken is going to weigh in how many weeks.
Correct.
Yeah,
So in 6 weeks, they can tell you that chicken is going to be 6 pounds or whatever it is going to be. So that way it can be make it to your table. So while they may not actually have steroids in there, there's still some type of growth hormone.
Has to
this
be.
Hmm.
go back this go back to I don't know if it was last week or the week before where we was talking about the GMOs and we was talking about
Yep.
how America is on business and convenience, and we
Mhm.
are like so far from our natural way, the holistic way, that is it is it that we're too far gone? Like, can we go back? Is that possible?
You know what, Dupria? Jason made a point, and you did too. Like he said, the show was designed to educate people on events that they need to be notified about. You got an overstimulation of all the social media sites, but they're not talking about critical topics that they need to talk about. So if you hear from somebody who looks like you and they're coming and talking about something, hey man, you need to focus on this. You need to
Mhm.
stop being overstimulated with all the other social media sites and focus on this. This is a problem. And honestly, we need to get back some of those holistic things we used to do. Like, hey man, there's nothing wrong with going out getting a little dirty, getting your
I
own
love it.
stuff because you know what you put into it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Because like a lot, and I say within our culture, we're very intelligent and very aware. But the thing is, it's the motivating factor.
yeah,
Okay, I don't want to do this. Man, no,
And that's why they
you
want you
need to do it.
uneducated.
yeah.
Mhm.
You,
Mhm.
you you need to do it, man. Like on my side of the family, I grew up horses, cows, all that
Hmm.
type of stuff, and I never stopped doing it. Now, let it be known, I complained about it when I was a kid because I'm like, man, I want to go have fun. But now, I'm thankful so much that they took the time and they made me do it
Mhm.
because you see the importance of it.
Mhm.
Everybody on this show at one point or another took some type of medicine to clean yourself out when you were a kid. Did you like
Hmm.
it? No, it tastes like dirt. It was horrible.
Mhm.
Guess what? You didn't get sick. It's those holistic things that you need to get back to. Everything doesn't require you to run to a doctor, and you've been eating the wrong thing. Your
Mhm.
system needs to be cleaned out. And that's why I'm glad we had people like Dr. Sabi and a lot of those people during that particular time. Even Left Eye from TLC, she was pushing a lot of that stuff.
Mhm.
Even Nipsey Hussle, he was trying to push some of that stuff. Like, you need to get back to taking care of us. So that's why
Yep.
I'm glad we have, this platform to be able to talk about these uncomfortable conversations, like Jason used to say. So we need this.
And
Absolutely. Hey man, so
it's important that we really look at alternative solutions for our individual families, because what it really is going to boil down to is that each one teach one. Once you learn,
absolutely.
go back and find somebody else to share that information with. And once you do that, the more that we do that, learn, then teach, learn, then teach. That was the biggest thing that our foreparents and forefathers did. They learned something, and if they had to teach it privately or publicly, it didn't matter. They taught it so that that information was disseminated and it was shared. It's the same concept of a recipe. Even to this day, like I was talking to my mom, and I was saying, man, Myra, I remember when you used to make this zucchini bread when we were kids and da 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 da. And I was talking to her about it, and she said, oh, this is what you got to do. Da 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 da. And call me after you get it done. Matter of fact, ship me some when you do it. I was like, what? And I was just listening to her, as she was sharing. But I thought about it. Each one teach one. You teach them, and then they go teach somebody else. That's what it is. Sometimes it's just a matter of the word of mouth. It's still, grassroots is still the most powerful advertiser. I don't care how many commercials we see. If we see somebody have an experience, we go by that experience versus what we saw on somebody's television screen. Mm-hmm. If somebody came to me and said, oh, I went here and this is what happened, and oh my goodness, it was yada, 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 I'm much more inclined to go have that experience than I would be if I saw some random commercial. And in my brain, because I'm a higher thinking, humanoid, I'm gonna say, man, that they just trying to, man, that don't mean nothing to me. It's a commercial. Who cares? It's not appealing to me. But what is appealing is if Dupria came and said, Koffe, I just went to such and such, and you have got to try it. Here's the link. And what am I gonna do? Dupria said it. Dupria had the experience. Dupria enjoyed it. Then, because we kind of vibrate in the same energy, there's a strong possibility I'm gonna enjoy the same exact thing. And so a lot of times it's a matter of each one teach one. Like I was sharing with you guys on another show that we had about the food source. A friend of mine goes to this other city right outside of San Antonio, where she goes to get all of her fresh what is it? Help me out. Her fresh protein. So she goes to get her fresh protein there, as opposed to going to the grocery store to get fresh protein. She literally goes over to the farmers and actually goes directly to them to actually get her protein in a much healthier form. Eggs, chicken,
and it
beef.
tastes different.
Yes, it does.
Different, and it looks different. So whenever you see a chicken that is grown naturally, he's going to be a lot slimmer than a chicken that where Jason was referring to earlier, who has something added on to make their body swell up. So it's going to be a whole different concept, and it's going to taste totally different. I mean, when I grew up north, when we used to go to Ohio to go to the farms, and they had chickens and eggs and stuff and fresh, all this fresh stuff that was just made like within days of our arrival. It tastes totally different than when we actually went to the grocer and picked up something. It tastes totally different. Like it's not even the same thing, So like what Dupria was saying, it literally is a matter of us actually having these conversations, with our friends and loved ones, neighbors and relatives, and say, hey, listen, I found this product, skincare. I found this product, a holistic natural skincare product. And you definitely go to this website, start getting your products from this particular entity versus the mainstream. Let's start supporting people that we know what they're actually doing to produce what they're producing. We don't have to be confused about it as to what's in it, how it's going to affect our body temples over time, and then the results that we're after. And then listen, push the business narrative. Everybody that's under the sound of my voice, I don't care how many no's you get, push the business narrative. Talk to people about having their own identity from a business perspective. Tell them, listen, you think about it. We got 10, 20 bills every month, but trying to do it off of one stream of income, it's
not gonna work.
How that work? And then we don't want you to keep exchanging time for money, because you still being robbed. you're still being robbed if you have to do 2 or 3 careers at one time. Then you got to try to maintain a family, try to maintain your health, try to maintain your relationships, all those things. So definitely leveraging and having a business identity to where you're, and it doesn't have to be anything where you actually are providing a product. It could be
Yeah.
service based or internet based. Is, I'm telling you, or from your freaking cell phone, like these cellular devices, you should be making, if you want a cell phone, you should be generating some revenue off that phone, period.
Absolutely. Hey, Coffee. I want to reiterate two things. Two things.
Well,
You just brought
reiterate.
up you just brought up something that was very important. And this is where I feel a lot of people in our culture lost our way, and almost to a detriment. The first thing, like you said, is pass down this information. That's something that does not happen like it used to when you used to go sit with Big Mama. You used to go sit with your grandparents and everything else. Like Coffee and I, we have conversations on a regular. Vincent and I, we do as well. And one of the things we talked about was how, yes, I've had people in my family talk about being slaves, like great grandparents and everything else. I never had a great grandparent tell me anything about coming from Africa. They talked about being indigenous to this land. They talked about coming from the Indian tribes and what's considered Indian, which was indigenous people and stuff. So we need to get this information. And what the detriment that I was talking about is the fact, and this is where it kind of hurt our culture over time, is the fact that we never wrote a lot of this stuff down. It was always word of mouth that we passed down time and time again, right? And we need to start documenting this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
that way it's easier to pass down from generation to generation. Now, hopefully y'all got that out there, especially you younger guys. When I say guys, I'm talking about male and female. You younger people, start talking to your grandparents and your parents about real things, not just the crap you see on social media where somebody's shaking their tail. Go talk about where you come from. Talk about the things that your parents went through when they grew up, the real stuff that they went through. Talk to Big Mama about what she had to deal with and the things that her mother and stuff instilled in her, and talk to her. Some of it you may want to apply to your life, some of it you may not want to. But it's even the stuff you don't want to apply, it can still be a warning of what's to come if you don't, you know what I'm saying, apply the good stuff. The second thing is, guys, I'm real happy. So I went to a production last night and I actually realized, so Vincent, you brought up Dr. Sebi.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a herbalist here in town, right here in Missouri City. I met him last night. He makes his own capsules and everything else. I don't
Really?
remember the name of the company. He does not have a storefront. Everything is internet based, as Coffee was talking about. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get you all that information when we get off of this podcast.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely share that one.
right here in Missouri City, I started taking his product today, and I felt it pretty immediately. And I was like, we're on to something, and he's on to something, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he uses his own product and stuff. So these are the things that we need to be finding out about and doing.
Mhm.
I mean, especially with the government messing with our food so much and everything else, we need to make sure we're putting some good stuff in our systems. And
Absolutely.
go outside and get
Yeah.
some sun,
Vitamin
go
D,
sweat.
baby. Vitamin D.
Hug a tree. Hug a tree.
Period.
Anytime you
Hug the
feeling
tree.
anything going on in your body, hug that tree. That tree is gonna absorb that tree is gonna absorb all negative energy. Two things
Right.
I wanted to touch on. Coffee said about the information, passing it down, and Jason touched on it as well. It's a book that I read probably a year or two ago. It's called The Homestead on Amazon. When I
Say it
first
again.
bought this,
Say
the
the book and that
home,
title again. It actually bleeped out when you said it.
The homestead. The
The
homestead.
Homestead. Okay.
so when I got this book, it was only $5 because nobody was focused on that. I don't know how much it is
Hmm.
now, but in this book, it touches on everything from the basis of you getting a property, how to do the property tax, the land, the building your own home, the water, your food, how to actually turn the soil, everything. It even touches on education with your children. It goes in depth on a lot. And that book was only $5. I don't know how much it is now, but on Amazon it's called The Homestead. It's a red cover and it has like different pictures and stuff on. Another thing that I wanted to touch on what Koffe was saying, in today's time where jobs is a tricky place, I think that everyone should have more streams of income, which we talked about on another show as well. But you already working a job, don't go and get you another job. So don't have something that requires your physical labor. And also don't even get a job. I mean, don't even get a business that require you to have a product, because that's even more work. Service, like Jason said, service based. Business will always win, but you don't even have to provide the service yourself. You can outsource the service.
Mm-hmm.
So many ways to skin a cat. You just have to know how to do it. And it's nothing wrong with copying a cat, being a copycat if you copy the right cat. So it's many ways to increase your revenue or multiply your income streams. It's just about you getting out there and finding the information. There's so much information out here nowadays.
Period. So we literally are at the end of the show. This has been very, very powerful, and I'm loving everybody shares. And just know that there are some other options out there and other things that you can do. I love what Jason was talking about with the holistic approach. I'm a super holistic person, super holistic, believe in holistic. The only reason why I go to a Western society doctor is for preventative care, because as a female and a woman, our organs are on the inside. So we have to go to a Western doctor to be certain that the organs that we cannot physically see are running smoothly and operating as it is. And the guys too, definitely go just for preventative sake. But at the end of the day, make sure that you are doing what you need to do, making sure you're taking the right supplements for your blood type and your body type, making sure that you're consuming the right amount of protein, and making sure that you're consuming your vegetables and things like that. And if you're doing supplements, making sure there's superfood supplements, not just a supplement, but superfood supplements that have the right on the inside, getting your collagen in so your body can repair itself, and all these other things. Exercising consistently. Do not forfeit the exercise. You've got to move the body. You have to move the body temple. The body requires movement. A body in motion stays in motion, and it will stay in motion for years to come. That will help you with your longevity and taking care of yourself, and just hydrating properly with high alkalinity water, making sure you're keeping your body hydrated so your organs can run smoothly and the way that they're supposed to be ran. So you're taking care of your body temple, and you're sleeping properly. Make certain that do not forfeit sleep. Sleep is a mandatory part of the body's major functionality, making sure your body functions as best and high as used. When you forfeit sleep, you start to have deficiencies in other areas. So you got to do all of the things necessary to take care of your body. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your soul, take care of your spirit, and take care of each other. And we'll see you guys on another edition of the P. Coffee Brown Show. We got an amazing commercial coming up for you guys in just a couple of seconds. And we're going to run that commercial. And each and every week, we'll be advising you and giving you information and sharing with you things that are happening around the globe that can impact you and your family. So, of course, we'll be back, and we'll have another segment where we'll talk about all things business, sharing with you some business ideas and some things that you can do to generate additional wealth for you and your household. So enjoy the balance of the day. Thank y'all for being present with us. Y'all give love to the panel. They are always popping and doing what they got to do. Amazing, amazing thought leaders. So we'll see you guys again on another edition of the P. Coffee Brown Show. Stay tuned for our commercial announcements. Good night, guys. Grace and peace.
Hey, how you doing? Bryce Thompson, entrepreneur, author of Accepted and Accepted. Look, if you're watching this video, just lock in for the next few minutes. I want to talk about our platform, Envision You. Our platform, our company, our technology is changing lives, tens of thousands of people's lives all over the world. Our company and our platform is a combination of two verticals: Health and wellness, education and wealth. Health is wealth. You need health in order to enjoy the wealth. But specifically right here on this video, I want to talk about the money, right? I want to talk about the wealth side of our company and our platform. This part of the company, this part of the platform is the easiest part to talk about because everybody wants to talk about money, right? Let's just make this simple. Go in your app store as soon as you get off this video and download our app, right? It's right there in your app store, the Envision You app, the Health and Wealth app. Now, when you download this app, I want y'all to understand it's completely free. Just get back with the person that sent you this video or shared it with you and ask them what name do you need to put in when the app asks who referred you. Now, when you've completely created your full profile, you'll have access to the app. Now, let's just talk about why. Why the app? It's the features. You're not gonna find features like this anywhere else. Our app is like a full hub for entrepreneurs and people that wanna make money digitally anywhere around the world. We have courses and live education for e-commerce, real estate, social media, day trading. We even have a licensed accountant and financial advisor that's gonna go live in our app every single week, teaching you how to grow wealth and manage your money on a day-to-day basis. I know we're in 2024 and our attention span has went from here to about here. Well, listen, not only can you learn, but you can earn on the go as well. We got something for that. Let me give you some examples. Specifically for e-commerce, not only do we have education, but we have something to call e-commerce ideas. Every single day, you're gonna get an e-commerce alert of a product that you can list for free and make 100% of the profit when it sells. This is a risk-free way of making money right here within our app every single day. Now, let me give you one of my favorites, day trading. We have live, fully vetted out educators that are sending alerts directly to our phone every single day throughout the week for us to swipe and make money. Now, you remember I said you can make money from anywhere? With our day trading alerts, you can literally swipe and make money from anywhere. You could just be out getting something to eat. You could be at the gym working out. How about this? You could be in the chair swiping, making money for your haircut while getting your haircut. Now, I would say driving, but we don't promote swiping and driving. However, we got a feature for that too. We have a button on our app called break even. So if you're in a live trade or a live alert, you can press the break even button. And for all of my traders around the world, our app is gonna automatically move your stop loss into your entry. Now it's a risk-free trade. All of these different features that I'm mentioning on our app makes it extremely easy for people to make money, but also extremely hard for people to lose money. Now, I know you're still watching this video probably thinking, okay, Bryce, there's no way everything you just mentioned is completely free. Here's the thing, you can get access to our app completely free. But if you want to get full access to all of the features that I've mentioned, getting all of the alerts on a day-to-day basis, in the month of March, watch this. If you're watching this video and it's the month of March, $150 one time. $150 one time, and for a full 30 days, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, after the first 30 days, if you've liked what you've seen, or you like what you've learned, or even better, you've liked what you made, just continue access for $150 every single month thereafter. Think about that. $150 over the course of 30 days is about $5 a day. Now, ask anybody else that has had access to our app what $5 a day looks like. That's one swipe. But look, enough of that. Like I said, get back with whoever sent or shared this video with you, download the app, and when you hear this sound effect, we look forward to swiping with you.